We're starting off high.
We can get a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot.
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
trust a human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, even if he's at home, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
Excuse me. Tis I.
Tis you.
Tis I.
What's going on, sir?
Hear ye, peniles and vagines.
Cliff is on one tonight. All right. And joining us for the first time in a long time, What the Fox?
What the Fox is up?
We've got Matt joining us. It's been a minute,
man?
Matt. How are you?
I'm fantastic, man.
Doing all right?
I'm doing all right. Life is good.
Life's good.
Been a busy 2 years.
It has been.
Dude, I mean...
We might have to talk about that. Who you telling? Oh, man. Well, we're getting
All
into
y'all's
it.
busyness.
All y'all's busyness.
It sucks growing up, man.
Being an adult
responsibilities.
Fucking bullshit, man.
Overrated.
Yeah.
I mean, who signed up for this shit?
I don't think you get
And then
signed
when
up.
you were a kid, like the only thing you really cared about, like the reason why you wanted to grow up was so you could do what you wanted, like stay up as long as you wanted, have sex, and all that shit's overrated now. You know what I mean? Like,
I mean,
it's overrated.
I don't know. There's parts of that equation that I still enjoy.
Listen,
I
you
sacrificed it for 10 years, you know?
Right. I get it. You found a new
Give your
investment. Invest.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I should be spending my time with more worthwhile pursuits. Maybe not even worthwhile, just more, maybe do something that makes money.
I've been
I
feeling
see
it
what
lately.
you're saying. At first, I was thinking that could be real bad for you. But now I see exactly what you meant to say. It didn't come out quite right.
Yeah, it didn't come out right, but...
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Right. So apologies if that offended anybody.
Yeah, no.
Oh, we're going to get canceled?
No.
I
might
can
get
see-
canceled.
Right. I was about to say. I can see how it could have at first. That's why I said.
Worthwhile is not the correct word to use in that statement.
Right.
Because it's all worthwhile, trust me. I
They
enjoy
clear-
every minute of it.
Clearly it is, because we've been missing you on Hit the Showers every goddamn week.
Every 36 seconds is worth it. All right.
Should be ashamed of yourself.
That's why I go down first. Anyways. Who's got it? You got an inadvertent to get us going, either one of you? You know what? It doesn't matter if you do. I got one.
I was supposed to prepare
Go ahead,
for this.
run
What the
it.
hell?
So my
Sound
inadvertent...
like you on one just as much as me, so I like where we're headed.
My inadvertent thought is more of an inadvertent complaint. And it may be about somebody involved in this podcast.
Complain to me, baby.
So, you ever have that point in your day and you got that one person in your life that just shits on your ideas, even if they don't bring anything to the table?
I think I know what this is going.
Like when you talk about something and you're like, hey, why don't we do this? And they're just like, nah, man, that's fucking stupid.
Fucking brain and negativity.
Fucking stupid. I got like 3 things to say about that. I ain't gonna play. And then they don't fucking bring anything to the table. Like, I'm just saying, you know, if you're gonna rain on my parade, at least bring an umbrella for me.
This is about 12 hours ago.
I say this shit to people at work all the time. I'm like, look, you're not allowed to make a complaint unless you've got a solution.
Well, listen, if you're the idea guy, then don't be a fucking M1. We don't need one shot, nigga. Keep shooting. That's dumb. No.
That's all I had
Come on,
time
keep
for,
it coming.
motherfucker. How many shots you got?
Clearly, that was all you had time.
You still got bullets in the gun. I ain't got nothing left.
This motherfucker wanted us to read the 10 o'clock news on this motherfucker.
And coming to you live from downtown Columbus.
That's exactly. I thought he was going to ask me to do the weather. I swear to God.
I am standing in my attic looking at the 7071 construction, and we have an accident.
Right.
What do you see from the Iron Sky Chopper?
There are 5 police cars on scene. It's a black man. It's a black man. So there's now 10. There's now 10 police cars on the scene.
Oh shit! And Lord knows you got the sky view. They don't need a helicopter from that motherfucker.
Right? No doubt. Shit's been wilding over here, man.
You funny. Oh man.
We're back in the hood. I missed it.
Man, this is not hood over here anymore. We were just talking about this.
I mean,
You
it's
are
block
gentrified.
by it's block by block. You go 2 blocks that way, you hit Miller Kelton, it's still hood.
Well, that's for you too. I mean,
That's true.
Not even a block. You cross that bridge.
No doubt. You cross the freeway, it's a different world.
Yeah. Don't cross Nelson.
Don't cross Nelson and don't cross Livingston. You be all right.
Listen, stay in your little hit that. Listen, but even the Save-A-Lot can be iffy, so it's like.
Oh no, the Save-A-Lot got tired of getting robbed. It ain't there no more.
Oh, okay.
All that's over there now is an Advanced Auto Zone or some shit, or Advanced Auto
Well,
Parts. One of those two.
If you cross Nelson from where you at though, you crossing better. You getting
Yeah, I
better
get it to
and better.
Bexley.
So
That's true.
you ain't got worries. Now, if that motherfucker was that way, bull. Trying to tell you.
I'm in that nice little sweet spot between Bexley and all the investment the Children's Hospital has put into like the Parsons Avenue Gateway or whatever.
Yeah, you are. You are in that. You are right.
I mean, Nationwide put about $30 million into the infrastructure about 15 years ago. Ohio State East.
They making puzzles on the freeway.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I would hate that job to have to redo the fucking freeway
Every 3 years.
They make it. What did they do?
Do they ever
just
finish
added-
it? I feel like
They
it just
added
keep
works
going.
better a
Hot
little
Wheels
bit now,
ramps
doesn't
to it. I don't know what they did.
I don't know either.
But think about the complexity of that problem. You're a civil engineer. You got like here, fix this fucking insane mess.
The problem
and,
is
there's nowhere to build anything new.
No, there's not.
I would say refer to Elon Musk, motherfucker. Unless you going
Put him on it.
underground, you ain't doing shit
He'll
with
fix
this.
I am not getting in that tunnel. Mm-mm.
No.
I'm not either.
670.
I'm not
That
either.
on ramp to 670 scares me enough. Where it goes under the where it's the underpass. Like
I'm not. Listen, I'm not. There's no way. There's no way.
I just read that both his projects got stalled. The one in I guess it's Las Vegas he's doing now, and one in Baltimore.
What's
yeah,
that? What was
Baltimore,
in Las
DC.
Vegas?
Yeah, no, they was doing like a tunnel under Vegas. I'm not sure exactly.
Oh, the same shit.
Yeah, there was gonna be
Gotcha.
like an off ramp to like every casino.
Oh.
Yeah, no, he's
All right.
getting bold with that one. But there was another one he was doing from like Baltimore to Maryland, Baltimore to DC, and both those projects apparently just got stalled.
Whatever happened with Hyperloop? That's what I want to know
I don't
about.
know, man. How many projects you want him to do at one time?
All of them. If this motherfucker gonna take
Get
billions,
on it!
if he's gonna take billions out of the economy, nigga needs to put yourself on the plate.
He's mining
It's a
asteroids.
Hyperloop.
We're going to Mars.
Going to Mars, bitch.
Going to Mars.
M-A-R-S. Mars, bitches.
What the hell is the Hyperloop?
High
You
speed
better
train.
listen to me. I feel
bullet
like
train.
Morpheus on Power Rangers on this goddamn screen.
That's Zordon, Cliff. Come on. Get your references
Whatever
right.
his name is.
Greetings, Rangers.
All right.
You still remember
Well,
that show?
regardless.
Oh my god.
Andrew's gotten into it, so he
They're
went.
still doing it?
He and I went as Power Rangers for Halloween.
I said
man.
Morpheus.
Damn. You're mixing
That's
too many
Matrix.
lines here.
That is Matrix. That is Matrix. Oh man. All right. What was your inadvertent, Cliff?
The blank stare.
Because my inadvert, I don't know if I should share or not.
Uh-oh. That means you definitely should.
But at the same time, I don't know if I should, right? Because I shouldn't. I'm not going to, because I feel like there's a chance that now, while I definitely should, like you said, there's a chance that the podcast could go this way,
Uh-oh.
and I don't want it to.
Okay. You don't want to usurp the podcast.
Right. I
That's
want to
fair.
sabotage it with this inadvert because then I feel like it could go a certain way.
We're just going to tee it off the right way.
Right. And I like the way we started. I'm not trying to change the momentum with getting that heavy.
The Rita's in the chat and she's saying, "Do it, Cliff."
I know she is.
Let your hate flow through you.
And it's not, and that makes it even worse. So I'm not even about to do it.
Oh man.
I just noticed some things though.
Oh, you noticed. What'd you notice, Cliff?
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
I'm not getting you. Well, you shit on all my topics, so what do you want to talk about?
I feel like,
What do you feel
come
like?
on, just talk about it already.
well, my inadvert.
Yeah. How to tee it up just right.
Okay, fuck it. And it's not as deep as I'm. And it's not as deep as I'm making it out to be, right? It's
It better be
just,
something epic.
it's
been too
just
much buildup.
I didn't really want to take it this deep type shit, right? So I noticed, like, watching videos and looking through social media, and it seems to me like the woke movement, right? And first and foremost, I hate how that term has been hijacked.
Oh, it's
First
definitely
and
been
foremost.
hijacked. Yeah.
It's something completely different now, but in terms of the woke movement, it seems to me like whether we're talking how someone wants to be addressed, or we're talking race, or whatever the case may be, that people now feel that as long as I appease you with what you're asking for in surface value, that I can lack actual compassion.
Yeah, it's called virtue signaling, isn't it?
I mean, I listen. I don't know the terms like that.
At
Is
least
that what
that's-
that
I think
is?
I think I get where you're going with this. I mean, I
It's
was
like
actually just talking to Becky about this the other day, where she was getting an email from a colleague at work, and they had their sign off as, just their name, and then with the brackets,
pronouns.
the pronouns after, she, her, and I was just like, hey, you know this person? Are they transsexual? Are they, are they non-binary? I mean, no. As far as she understood, no. And then we had a conversation about it. I was like, why? What is
Why
the point
is
of
it
that?
necessary then?
You know, that is the definition of virtue signaling. It's like, what? This is where the
It has
conversation's
nothing
going.
to do with you, but you feel a need to insert yourself and say, "Oh, I'm supportive of this community by doing X." Is that what you're talking about?
Well, no,
Chris?
it's even beyond that, right?
Okay.
My inadvertent is even beyond that, right? Because people feel like once they do that, well, not even that, because it's not about you saying what you identify as, but it's you identifying someone as they want to be identified.
I'm just calling everybody by their name. I am not even
Right.
fucking with pronouns anymore.
Well, what I'm getting at is people think if they do that, if they identify you correctly, or I don't know what the equivalent would be, that they don't have to care beyond. You know what I mean? Like they've been giving you the minimum for you to be acknowledged and be like, okay, I don't know if others would think ally, I don't, but just because you say or do something that is in reference to myself or my culture doesn't mean you're cool.
Gotcha.
But people think that when they do that, that's it, that they let you know it's cool, so then they can not actually. I don't know how to describe
it's almost more on the I've got black friends like train of thought, right? Like it's trying to say that same kind of thing, right? Like, oh, I've got my black friends, so I'm cool. Like,
right, so that covers up the lack of compassion, because that's enough. The fact that I'm calling you by what you want to be called or doing, that's enough. But the truth is, if I walk past a motherfucker dying in the street, I'm going to step over him because I just called you what you wanted to be called, right?
So that's doing enough.
Right. You see what I'm saying? And it's like, and I don't know if it correlates at all, like people like free speaking, because what I've noticed, at least in my lifetime, is the people that usually talk the wildest love you the most.
Right, because they're not,
even if they're friends. Like, it's like, but go ahead, Mike, what was you about to say?
No, I was just going to say it's the whole, if they know you well enough to be wild, like, there's a reason for that, right?
But I don't even know if it so much has to be even knowing you. Like, I feel like that's a term of endearment.
It's more they are,
and I don't mean
they are their authentic self regardless of who they're interacting with.
Exactly. And when I say that it's a term of endearment, I don't mean anything specific, just giving jabs, like saying what I want to say about the situation. That doesn't mean that I don't like you, because chances are if I didn't like you, I wouldn't have said anything at all.
Right.
And it's a lot of people out there like that get, taken wrong. I'm not speaking like for myself specifically.
Yeah.
But I see it all the time where it's like, you're too uptight right now when you're not recognizing the care of the situation. But at the same time, when someone acknowledges you the way you want to be acknowledged, you light up, but they don't care. There's no care behind, like I just called you that, but the actions, like it just doesn't, I don't know how to describe it. It's just weird to me. I've noticed some shit and I was like, that's kind of weird.
Yeah.
Definitely people not being genuine out there in the world.
Oh, that's where we're at right now.
That's
where we're at right now. When you look at TikTok and you see motherfuckers making millions of dollars imitating the things that other people have already.
Which, by the way, speaking of TikTok, The wife and husband that dog each other and then play Gangster's Paradise as they're walking away. That shit is my stuff.
There is some funny shit.
The Puerto Rican dude.
The Puerto Rican dude and the blonde.
I don't know. I don't know.
I'm sure there are so many like that. There's one that continuously pops up in my feed, and it just gets me fucking every time.
See, I don't have
the dude will dog her, and then she'll like take off a shoe and throw it at him. Like,
I watched something similar.
But she's blind now.
What's that?
I gotta see what you've seen because I don't know if it's the same
Dude,
girl.
there's got to be thousands.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. And I think that
right. We just talk how they repeat everything, so yeah.
Well, no, I mean that's TikTok is appropriate and make it your own.
That's exactly what it is, though.
It is. That's exactly.
Well,
what it is.
I mean, think about it, though. There's probably hundreds of thousands of attempts at this, but there's only maybe 1,000 or so out there that actually gain a following.
Right.
There's something about the people that are doing these things. There's something watchable about the quality.
Yeah.
Because it's
But it teaches a
whether
bad
it's
example,
genuine.
though.
It teaches the example that you don't have to do anything original. And
I can just do it
right.
one better than you.
Right.
Okay, so for example, though, I mean, TikTok's a weird amalgam. I watch a lot of home improvement, shit right now, and it's like really useful educational stuff, but it only gets like 40,000 views or something per video.
Right.
And then I flip over to some dude fucking with his dog, and there's like 3 million views on it. I'm just like, it's amazing the algorithm of what people will just tune into,
It's because people are just looking to kill time,
right?
Man. Like we don't have anything left to live for with all this vid.
Fox, do you watch the Marine building the outdoor camouflage huts and shit?
Not necessarily that, but I watch.
I've been
every
down
once in
that
a while.
rabbit
I
hole.
watch like some bushcraft guys. They'll just go out in the woods for a weekend and build themselves like this cute little log cabin out of nothing.
It's something like that. But I've been down that
it's
rabbit
cool
hole.
stuff, man. I was just watching Alone before I came over here. I've been on that show. I don't know if you guys seen that.
I've watched like an episode or two, but
There's something about that survival shit, man. Just going out in the woods with like 10 items and just make it.
Right.
Something about that is always,
See, I have no interest.
This is
I
really
get
nice
into that,
on the
though.
couch with the cold beers.
I get into that. You never know if that could be you.
That's
Well,
true.
I mean,
there's fairness to that.
odds are probably never going to happen. And if it does happen, I mean, even like that's why my takeaway from this show is these people on the show, even though it's a show and they produce it and a lot of fuckery going on, it's still these are pros.
Yeah.
Like the things they know and the tricks these guys pull out of their bag,
Right.
it's like, wow, I never would have thought to do that. That's a really good trick.
Right.
And even they're failing.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's
what
like,
chance do I
I've got no
have?
chance.
Well, I feel like Alone is different though. Like if you watch enough of these videos, I feel like that they're basically showing you step by step. Listen, my nigga had a fireplace.
Yeah, built like a lot of clay and
fireplace.
stones and wood, yeah.
Built in not stones, no, just like a mud, like next to his little bed area. He had a fireplace that went up and it was all covered in. You wouldn't even. Basically, what I'm getting at is the homeless need to step it the fuck up.
These little shanty towns by the track.
Right.
You look sad by comparison.
Fuck zoning laws, bitch. I'm digging. I'm stealing this moss. I'm gonna be about 2 feet under the ground.
Reminds me of like down by the Scioto Mile because it's a bunch of especially under some of the bridges there, like it's tent city, right?
Is it getting to be that bad? It's been a minute since I've been down there.
It's pretty bad. And I'm like, to your point though, Cliff, like there's all sorts of fallen trees around here. Like you could make something a little more stable than a tent if you wanted to.
That shit, after seeing that shit, I'm going to the woods and I'm finding a spot.
They got priorities down there, man. It's the drugs first, and then it's worry about where I'm sleeping tonight.
Listen.
Maybe
I mean, I don't know. I've God bless anybody down bad on hard times, but if you down there just to toot it up.
I don't know.
I mean, there's a whole spectrum amongst the homeless population. I don't want to write everybody off, as a bunch of junkies, but
Right,
Odds
you right.
are people that are living in those conditions, they have
That's why I said
addiction
that,
problems.
right.
How they got them, that's a different story.
Right.
You
Right.
know, but-
Well, and especially right now, like, I'm sorry, anybody can get a fucking job right now if they want.
I mean, they're
But it's
McDonald's
different
$15 an hour,
circumstances,
man. You don't have to be living under that
though.
bridge.
It's different
Right.
circumstances. My whole thing is we all know, or I don't know if I know, but I bet my bottom dollar, them shelters and all that shit is full at the moment.
Oh, I understand on the shelter front. And I'm not saying that you couldn't. I'm not saying that you could necessarily afford housing. What I am saying is you could probably get a job where you could at least get yourself a meal or something.
Well, I mean,
But I hear the point on what you're saying, Cliff. Like, I mean, let's face it, and we've, it's the whole. There are very few people in this country, especially, that are less than or that are. Let me rephrase that. Almost everybody in this country is one major medical expense away from being homeless.
Oh, yes. I mean, most people can't afford an unexpected payment of more than $500.
Right.
Like 90.
Listen.
It's like 70%.
Yeah.
I'm in that category,
Right.
motherfucker. If a $500 incident popped up on me right now, I would
It'd be
be
rough.
devastated.
I mean, it wouldn't be devastating for me. I'm not as rich as
I mean, I
Mike
could
here,
get through it, but I would still be devastated.
Yeah, I mean, I
Right.
wouldn't like it, but it would definitely be like, damn, ow, that hurt the pocket,
Right. No, and I mean, even myself who could absorb it, like it's not like I could absorb more than a couple of those though.
Right.
Like, especially right now, paying fucking half the utilities at a house that I'm not at.
You're in a
and
unique,
half the mortgage at a house I'm not
in a
at.
unique situation.
Man
So-
over there talking about medical bills. Fuck them. Them gonna get paid anyway. They're gonna fall off my motherfucking credit for 7 years. You can ask me for that shit. You ain't getting shit.
Jack.
Oh man, especially now that's we could go down that rabbit hole all night.
And take care of me, America. You owe me that, motherfucker.
Why is that something we're not moving on in the middle of a pandemic, huh?
Oh, universal health care
You
or
know,
I don't
payer.
know if we should though.
Might as
No?
well. Why the hell not?
Especially not in the pandemic. I was just talking about that on another podcast I listened to. Matter of fact, it was on the Flagrant 2. They were talking about in Canada. I said I added another DA, didn't I?
Canada.
Canada or something like that. Listen. But that they locked down the city just or not a city, but wherever the area. I don't know if it was the whole country or just certain areas for from last month for a while because of the healthcare.
The healthcare
Like
system
basically
crumbled,
when
couldn't
it first
keep up.
when it first started again, small businesses took a hit and all that, but they was like, listen, it doesn't matter if we gotta cover the healthcare, everybody can't be out spreading shit.
But that's the whole reason for a single payer is that then you take it out of the hands of small businesses and private insurance companies, and it's
Okay, so I mean, we were just talking about COVID. I think it was before we.
before we hopped on.
Yeah, before we
All right, so everybody in this room got COVID. Everybody on this podcast, well, in this room and Cliff. So
he doesn't
I
know if
mean,
he's
I
had
was
it or not.
negative,
well, I'm
but,
in the same boat. I tested negative a day after being sick, and everybody
but
around
I
me
am
had
still
COVID.
going through it.
So I don't know. Odds are I probably had it, but
Meanwhile, I didn't have any symptoms, and this motherfucker tested positive for 10 fucking days.
it's crazy, man. But anyway,
Nah,
my
man,
point
I've
is
been
taking
I
the
tested twice negative,
There you go.
and I've been going through shit.
taking the burden off of small businesses is the owner of our company opted out of that option for our insurance policy to cover disability for COVID. And so I went, because my wife was testing positive and I was fine, I was testing negative, I still couldn't go to work for a week and a half.
Gotcha.
And so, I took, $1,000 hit. And that fucking hurt.
Right.
And I wasn't getting any money to bail that out, versus, if all these expenses, or at least, that medical aspect of it and, the disability that's associated with it is all wrapped up into a single payer system. You take that onus off of small businesses.
Right.
To,
They don't have
make
to
that
make those
decision.
Right.
Even though I still think she's a greedy bitch because, like I was saying to you, I hope she's not listening. because she had two of the most profitable fucking years of her life in the last 2 years, which is like really irritating to me.
A lot of people have though. It's not.
I mean,
like,
that business, like, it did the best 2 years, at least according, like, I've only been there for 4, but according to all the people that have been there for like 25, 30 years, the last 2 years.
Because people wanted to take care of something.
Yeah, no, I mean, 2020 was legit the craziest I have ever seen anything like it. Everybody was home with a bunch of extra money in their pocket, and everybody went to town on redoing their landscaping and all this stuff.
That and pets. The puppy mill industry
Pets
was
went up.
rocketed too.
I bet,
I
man.
just saw a
I
sign,
wish I'd have had
$2,500 for a Great Dane.
Kennel.
It's crazy.
I don't even know.
I
What
might have
other
to-
industry?
Nah, I don't like animals enough. I was about to say I might have to build a cage fence in the backyard and get a couple pits to. Nah, fuck that. I don't like animals.
I was about to say.
I gotta take multiple dogs in the house and bathe them. Nah, gee, that's not happening.
I'm good.
You got me fucked up.
I mean, what other industries did well? Our favorite industry, the porn industry, I'm sure did.
I'm
wonderful.
sure they did great. Amazon, I'm really kicking myself in the ass for not investing in that.
in Amazon, no doubt. Anybody that did
Right, that
delivery.
is dumb.
Kicking myself in the ass for not investing in Bitcoin.
Yeah, no shit.
Right.
Well,
Ugh.
Bitcoin have been that was years. That was
I mean, so was Amazon though. Like,
Right.
yes, they spiked during the pandemic, but
right.
they were
but-
already, a couple $100, $1,000 a share, whatever it was.
right, but Bitcoin can't really kick yourself in the ass about that. That was.
Oh, I
something-
sure can, man. I first found out about that in 2012 when it was like $300 a bit. I am really kicking myself in the ass for not getting on that bandwagon.
Because what's it at now? Like,
Well, I mean, it's fluctuated.
Right.
The high water mark last year was 63,000.
Yeah.
I thought it was 64.
Something like that. It's down to like 41 right now. So it makes me think now's
Hey,
about time.
motherfuckers.
Because right around election years is when it spikes.
Yeah.
I don't know though, but my whole thing is it was fluctuating at that 56, 58 mark for a good, I'd probably say almost 10, 11 months. And when, it would go up, like you said, to the 63. I thought I saw as high as 64. But then when it started to go down below that mark, I said that 56, 58, man, motherfuckers started losing their minds.
Oh, yeah. No.
And the fact that it's now down to 41, I don't know if a lot of people going to buy back into that.
Dude, 41 ain't the low mark. 32, I think, was the low mark.
Still, though.
Yeah, I didn't.
At least in the past year. I mean, but still, here's my prediction. Come 2024, and given inflation, wow, that's all gone crazy. People are going to be pulling the money out of dollars.
Well, let me ask you, I guarantee you that. Let me ask you something, though. Are they going to offer Bitcoin in the metaverse?
They're gonna offer Bitcoin everywhere. Amazon's starting to
You better hop on it now, then. I'm telling you.
I guarantee you. Here's
Bitcoin
my prediction.
metaverse
And
price is.
I just want to go on record. 2 years ago, when I said that the bell curve, or taping the curve with COVID, was going to be more of a wave function.
Oh, yeah.
Be up and down. Right.
It absolutely was.
And I'm calling this one right now. We'll come back to this in 2024. I'm betting at right after the election, Bitcoin will be over 100K.
Well, let's get it in.
After the 2024 election.
Yep, next presidential election, Bitcoin will spike over 100K.
What makes you think?
Are we going to make it out of the next presidential election?
I'm just looking at the spike that happened in 2017, the spike that happened in 2020, and the state of the general world and the pandemic has really put a burden on everything, and inflation being 7% in the last 6 months.
Yeah.
I'm following you now. Okay,
So
I'm
saying that
you
people are going to
now.
have. I mean, you want to take your money. Your dollar is not going to do what your dollar did in today in the next 4 years. If inflation keeps going the way it is, and like I deal with this on a daily basis because I deal with a lot of supply issues. Like prices on everything have doubled.
Oh yeah.
in the last year. All of our supplies for my greenhouse have doubled or more.
Well, and I mean, you were
year.
just talking about building a house, like
Yeah, lumber prices, another fantastic
lumber prices,
example.
another example.
Supply chain issues across the board, and it's like there's no smoking gun. There's like a million different factors for why prices are going through the roof. Lack of labor, lack of supplies, raw materials, all this stuff, transportation. It's all goes into prices are going up. And Joe Rogan actually brought up a fantastic point on a podcast a month or so ago about how the basis of capitalism is that everybody's based in, you have to make profits. Your profits next year have to be better than the profits.
Than your profits.
And everybody's baselining now these insane profits that they made. Like everybody made bank through the pandemic, except for middle class working people. Right. Any corporation did better this year, most of them, than years before, unless you were in like entertainment.
Right.
And so